Hi, I'm Emily Gottberg, and my new student dialogue was "I'm sexy and I know it, strong men and beautiful women." And we basically talked about beauty standards, double standards, stereotypes, different identities that we had. I felt that my group achieved true dialogue because we had all different kinds of people opening up and talking about personal experiences and their beliefs. And there's a bunch of people with different backgrounds and stuff. And there's a lot of people that were really open to talking about different ideas. My dialogue facilitators did a good job of making us feel like we had a safe environment, share what we had to say and like what we thought, and just different experiences that we had. There's a wide variety of different dynamics in my group, range from like very active voices to passive voices to people like didn't really say much. The active voices mostly spoke the entire time on every topic that we had. They just spoke about their opinions and beliefs. They seemed to have more diverse social identities than the rest of us and had more to share, and they seemed really comfortable sharing it with our group. On the other hand, there were like the more reserved voices. They didn't speak unless we went around the circle and we had to say something. From my observation, it kind of seemed like they were the more homogenous part of Clemson's population, more typical, same religious beliefs, same racial, ethnic dynamic going on. My role, I would say, is in between both of these. I felt like I fit into the mold of the typical Clemson student. I didn't really have much to say out of the ordinary, but I still tried to add when I could. Like, one of the things that I'm different than most of Clemson's population is I'm not very religious. I didn't grow up with that. So there's all different kinds of things that people could share that weren't the same as everyone else. I think the dialogue is a component of CU 1000 because it opens up new students' eyes to opinions that are different from their own. College is the first time you can really you meet such a wide variety of people you've never met, places that you've never been. And the dialogue allowed us to have a safe place to share our ideas, and sometimes it could be controversial to other people's ideas and kind of could clash, but everyone felt really safe and could share what they had to say. I think new student dialogues really opened up students' eyes to everything going on around us. I'm from rural Minnesota, so we don't have a lot of racial diversity and stuff, and I never really thought about racial stereotypes because there wasn't really many people to stereotype. But for one of our activities, we had a bunch of different papers all over the walls that were things like skinny man, black person, homosexual, and things like that. And it was kind of tough because we had to write down stereotypes on sticky notes, stick them to the wall. And that was kind of hard for me because you don't want to say something negative about people who are in that room that have that certain social identity. What I found was there was for the black people and white people, they were really different. Like, one was educated, uneducated, for black people, gangs, drugs, violence, stuff like that could be really offensive to people who identified as a black person in that thing. And then the white people had educated, snobby, rich, stuff like that. And what the dialogue facilitators had us do was take off all the social identity things that disagreed. So we had our dialogue facilitator did the white person, and she said that she came from not very well-off family. She was the first one to kind of go to college and stuff like that. And she took off those sticky notes, and we kind of went around the room and did that same thing with other people who identified with that social identity. I thought that was really powerful. Another really powerful thing that we did was we Googled beauty and saw what images came up. And that was kind of surprising to me because they were all basically the same image. They were white women blonde for the most part, really thin, makeup, like it was very specific. And I thought that was kind of disturbing because there's so little people who fit into that idea of beauty, and that kind of made me sad. We also did Wheel of Social Identities, which was, we had to write down, like, if we identified as heterosexual, homosexual, like, I identify myself middle class, European background, just things like that. And then we got paired up with someone else who, from across the room or whatever, and we shared, like, our different identities. And the girl that I got paired up with, she was a year older than me, but we, for the most part, we had the same identity. She was from upper class family, I'm from middle class family, but we had the same sort of, like, religious beliefs and identities that we dealt with. And then we went around the circle and we talked about the people compared, and then there's other people who thought they had more to talk about when they were different. They thought that was really cool, that everyone could be open and stuff like that. But overall, the new student dialogue I thought was a really, really good thing for CU 1000. I heard a lot of them got really intense, like emotionally, people sharing things, but I think that's what students need going into college, because this is the first time you really get to experience so many different people from different backgrounds all in the same place. Thanks. Go Tigers.